This is episode 82, talking about what is emotional healing and how can you add it to your daily life. With your host, Eric, who is here today solo and going to tell you one fun fact about Anita, and that is she is totally afraid of wet floors. What's going on, everybody? Eric here. Happy to be back with another great Friday Shorts talking about something I'm very passionate about and I think will be very helpful for your daily life of understanding, which is emotional healing. What do I need to do to heal my emotions? Why do I even need to heal my emotions? What does that even mean, Eric? What are we talking about? Don't worry, I'm going to clarify all of these things in today's short episode. So sit back, relax, and enjoy the conversation of listening to my wonderful voice today in this conversation. All right, so we're diving into emotional healing. Well, let's look at these two words before we even start. We're looking at emotions. Okay, emotions can be a variety of things. It can be something like happy, sad, angry, or even depressed or frustrated. It can be something that is very small, like feeling a little excited about the next package coming from Shopee or Amazon, depending on where you live, or something really big, like disappointment because you didn't achieve the goal that you worked so hard for. All of this stuff is related to emotions, and that's why on Taiwanica we love talking about emotions because there's a huge variety of them and they influence our life every single day. And the more you become aware of them, the better your life will be. Now, that's where we get into healing, and healing is simply just becoming aware of what these emotions are and how to feel them according to their needs, because each emotion has their own result, and that result can happen based on your choice or based on something that you're just not aware of, or another word for that is ignorance. And if that happens, then sometimes the way you want things to happen don't end up the way that you expected. So maybe when you're mad and you're trying to explain something to somebody while being mad, you actually make the situation worse than better. And that's not always how it could be. You can actually be mad, express yourself, and still get the thing that you want. I'm pretty sure you have had this kind of experience. And sometimes it's effective, and I'm telling you is that if you know what emotional healing is, this can be the result every time, if you really know how to use it. Okay, so what we're going to look at now is what is emotional healing in a day-to-day basis, and I'm going to also teach you a couple of techniques so that you can apply it in your life, test it out, see what you think. So emotional healing comes from simply understanding the power of an emotion. So let's actually just look at the word emotion one more time, but this time we're going to break it apart. Okay, I'm going to separate the E from emotion. Okay, so if we look at it with E and motion, we can look at the letter E and change it into another word. I like to change it into the word energy. Okay, so in this situation, we have energy and then the word motion. In other words, energy in motion. That's what an emotion is, if you really think about it. It's our energy moving, and we're moving through a filter. A way that I like to look at it is whenever we have a certain feeling going on, happy, sad, angry, depressed, excited, it doesn't matter. Any of these emotions is fine. But what happens is basically you become a person a little bit different than you are naturally. And so one of my favorite examples of this is you're putting on these different type of glasses when you're going into this emotion. So let's say that you are feeling a little bit angry, Okay, in that specific moment, you're starting to put on glasses that are the color red. In English, when we get mad, we sometimes say "see red" as a phrase, and so it's an easy way to get an idea that when you're wearing red glasses, you're starting to see the world, everything around you, through this angry vision. Right? Everything that you look at just makes you angrier and angrier. Even adorable things like maybe the smile on your kid's face or a cute little cat or maybe a butterfly flying by. For some reason, 10 seconds before you were angry, they were wonderful things to look at. But now that you have these red glasses on, you're just so mad you can't see the beautiful cuteness of these things. So that's what I'm talking about when it comes to emotion, like energy in motion. Now, the trick here is a lot of people, when they are in this emotion, they want to get out of it as quickly as possible. And I call it a trick because it's not something that you can easily just get yourself out of. It's a trick because you believe you can. You believe you can just immediately just push that emotion out of you and move forward in a happy state. This is what we call pushing happiness or false happiness. Trying to always stay positive is another way to look at it. But in reality is that if your energy is not in a happy state or in a peaceful state, then it's impossible for you to move forward in a happy state. So what is keeping you from that is simply the emotion that you're currently in. Okay, so if you are saying to yourself, oh, I am feeling angry right now, or I'm feeling sad right now. Okay, well, the purpose of an emotion, if we look at the word again, emotion, energy, emotion, well, it's to feel. It's to feel this emotion. And so if we can feel the emotion completely, this is the most important word, is to feel the emotion completely, give it the time that it requires to be expressed, to feel wholly, this like intense sensation of anger, but you give it the respect that it deserves. Like, you're not putting it down. You're not saying, oh, I don't want to be angry. I don't want to be angry. It's, oh, I'm feeling angry again. No, we're trying to keep it in this perspective that it's just a moment of anger. And if you are focusing on it in a safe place where it's not being targeted towards others, then you're actually capable of feeling this emotion completely. And by doing that, you're done and you're going back to your natural state of being peaceful and happy. So the idea of emotional healing is simply just healing what is unnatural. And anything that is not peaceful or happy, or another word for that could be blissful, is a unnatural emotion. Many people would disagree with me here, saying, well, Eric, being sad is natural, and being mad is natural, and being disappointed and feeling anger or envy and jealousy are natural, or fearful even. And they could argue that, and they can find lots of proof of that. And I could say, that is definitely what we see in life, and people all around us are expressing and feeling these emotions. And I could say to them, yes, this is definitely a common sensation that we go through. We go through all of these negative emotions. But the question here is not it being a natural point or not. The thing is saying, yes, we do feel these things. We feel negative emotions. But the question that we're really trying to focus on is this our natural state or not? Is this the state that we are always born to be in? Right? The key thing in life that you ask anybody is, what do you want to be? If you ask them not about your profession, like I'm not asking you, what kind of job do you want to have? I want to be a teacher. No. I'm asking you, if you could choose the feeling that you want to be all the time, what feeling would that be?
We'll be right back.
I really like journaling, but I always end up with no time or cannot find a journal that I really like. So I was like, hey, let me create one. So here it is, a self-help journal created and designed by Anita. Inside the book, I provide very simple and easy to follow template. For example, in the morning, to-do list. In the evening, gratitude practice. So you can use a very little time to start this healthy habit. Go ahead and check it out in our description down below or go to our buymeacoffee.com.
I would say everyone who is in their right mind would say happy. 100%. They would say, I want to be happy, right? Happiness is the goal in life for everyone. So if that's the case, then we are all in search for happiness. And so that means that's our natural state of being. We want to be happy. If we are happy, we are successful. If we are happy, then we are joyful. We are peaceful. We are everything that we want to have and do. Okay, so if we understand that being happy is our natural state, and also understand that anything outside of being happy is not our natural state, then we know that working out these emotions, feeling any sort of negative emotion, then we are capable of returning to our natural state. Okay, it's possible. Yeah, you probably have felt that yourself. If you've ever gone exercising, for example, or gone running, and you did a strenuous exercise, before you did that exercise, whether it was any emotion, anger, fear, depression, sadness, confusion, anything, and then immediately after doing that exercise, you feel relaxed, you feel peaceful, you feel at ease, happy, and any of these emotions start to come to you. And that's because you have helped your body release that negative emotion through exercise. That's why exercise is a very popular and great way of having a healthy body and mind. Now, what we're trying to do here is to express not necessarily you need to go exercise every time you feel a negative emotion. Although that can be helpful, it's not necessarily practical for you to, when you're in the middle of your job, you're feeling angry all of a sudden, and you're like, okay, I'm going to put on my running shoes and go run a block or two. It doesn't really work out that way. So we need to find practical ways of feeling our emotions. And fortunately, there are many ways to feel emotions without needing to do exercise, okay? I'm not saying that you should stop doing your exercise as a way to relieve your emotions. Of course, if that is one of your ways of doing that, that's great. What I am offering right now is a way for you to feel your emotions at any time. And so if you're feeling really intense about something, or even not, or if you're feeling a little bit of a negative emotion, for example, anxiety or worry or even doubt, then this method I'm about to teach you will help you on that journey of going back to your natural state quickly. Okay? So the technique I'm going to be teaching you is what we call a body scan. Okay? The body scan is very simple. What we're doing is that we're using our mind to ask our body a question. Now, I know it might feel a little weird for a lot of people hearing this about asking the mind to ask the body a question. But in reality, there are two different little voices in your head that are connected to these two different parts. Okay? And so if you ask each of them this question, you'll get a different response. Our brain is kind of like our conductor. It's our engine to help us see things and move forward and judge things from a intellectual point of view. You know, this is right, this is wrong. The body is more understanding of what is good, what is bad for the body itself. And so body's way of communicating is different from how the mind communicates. The mind communicates with us in words and images. Okay, so maybe you see something in your mind from a memory of the past, or you hear a voice in your head from somebody in the past talking to you. Okay, this is how the mind communicates. But the body communicates with emotions. Okay, when we feel something, that's coming from the body. Okay, so that's how the body will tell you if something is going right or wrong. And so if you're able to understand that the body communicates with emotions, then you're able to also do this process that I'm about to teach you. Okay, but we need the mind and the body to cooperate with each other here. This is a practice of mindfulness. Okay, so mind-body communication. We're bringing balance to these two. And if we can do that simply by using our mind to ask the body a question, it'll be very easy for us to move forward. So here is the question that we're going to ask. So the mind is going to say to the body, hey, body, on a scale from 1 to 10, how do you feel right now? Oh, so at this moment, you're going to just listen to the body simply say, oh, I feel like a 3. Okay, you feel like a 3. And keep in mind, anything closer to 1, like 1, 2, 3, 4, are going to be lower level emotions. Okay, so we're looking at things that are heavy. Some negative emotions are definitely going to be in this area. On the other hand, if we're at 5 or 6, we're looking at some more neutral emotions, something like you might not even feel anything at all, or these emotions are a little bit more complicated to understand because they're so subtle. They're not very strong. And then on the other hand, 7, 8, 9, 10 are usually going to be lighter, more positive emotions that we are having in the body at that moment. Okay, so let's go back to our example. I have a 3, okay? After I ask myself the number, okay, it gives me some clarity. Okay, I'm not feeling positive. I'm feeling more negative at this moment. Okay, nothing to judge. You know, I'm just feeling that. So, okay, there's a negative emotion. Okay, next question. Where am I feeling it? So the mind's asking the body, hey, body, where is this 3? So the body starts scanning. Okay, we're looking around the body, and I'm saying, okay, I feel it in my lower stomach, and I feel it in my back. Okay, cool. So now we know where it is, and we know how much of a negative feeling I'm feeling. It's a 3. Okay, so it's a low number. It's low. Now I want to know what the feeling is. Okay, so I'll ask, okay, what is the emotion I'm feeling right now? Okay, the things that come up in my head are hatred and frustration. Okay, now notice here that after I do this question, I'm not going to do the most natural thing that you might be thinking right now. And that is to ask why. Okay, we're not looking for why in this situation, because why is a mind question. keep very close here. Why is a mind question. It's not a body question, because mind is very good at solving how questions and why questions. Okay, but with body, we're focusing on emotions. Okay, we're not trying to solve something here. We're just trying to feel. So don't ask why, okay? The body will tell you a reason why, maybe, when you're feeling the emotion, but don't ask it, because the purpose here is not to solve, it's to feel. Okay, we're trying to just feel the emotion. Okay, so here we go. When you know what the emotion is, we know it's hatred. For this example, it's hatred and feeling anger or frustration. And we know that it's in the lower stomach and the back, and we know it's a 3. Now, simply feel it for 20 seconds. Okay, here we go. You're feeling it for 20 seconds. And 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. And that's it. I felt it. And now, a lot of people like to work with affirmations. These are phrases that you can say that reinforce positivity. And, you have this moment that you can add positivity to your body after going through the process of feeling negative emotions. And a lot of people like to do this because it's kind of a switch from negative to positive. And this is scientifically proven to be very helpful in terms of going back to your natural state of happiness. So a way that I like to introduce that is just simply saying thank you. Thank you for letting me feel this feeling. Just saying that to yourself inside your mind or outside out loud, both are fine. And you can reinforce it by saying things like I'm grateful, or I love you, or I appreciate you, anything like this. And then the emotion starts to get lighter. Now, you have a choice here of just completing the task after that and calling it good, or tuning in again and seeing what your number is now. So I'm going to do that. Hey, body, on a scale from 1 to 10, how do I feel? Oh, I feel like an 8. Wow, look at that. I'm in the more of the positive side of the emotions automatically. And the reason for that is simple. I went through the process of what an emotion needs to feel. Now that I've felt the emotion, I'm back into a natural state of happiness and peacefulness. And this is something that you can easily add to your life by adding something like a reminder to do this. Okay, this is my suggestion to anybody who is out there struggling with understanding how to feel their emotions. And if you're interested in learning more ways on how to release your emotions or even be more effective with it, you can learn more through communicating with a life coach. Anita and I, Eric, are life coaches, and you can find our services available at ericandανita.com. And you can learn more about how to add this to your life and much more. More techniques on how to really attract the things that you want in your life. Because if you start having more positive emotions, things that you really want in your life will also become more available to you, because you're able to look through the world with happy glasses rather than angry glasses. So I hope you found today's episode helpful, resourceful, enjoyable. If you did, definitely leave a review wherever you're listening. Share it with a friend who you might think will be in need in knowing this kind of information. And definitely subscribe wherever you are, and let us know that you're listening. We would love to hear from you. Anybody who does leave any comments are always brought up here on Taiwanica Podcast. So just know that you're always welcome. And thank you for joining us today. We'll see you next time.